Getting someone to miss you, especially someone you're secretly interested in, takes a bit of strategy and patience. By creating a lasting impression and making her think about you even when you're not around, you can build an emotional connection that draws her closer. In today's video, we're going to explore 10 things you can do to get the girl you secretly like to miss you. If you're looking for ways to leave a lasting impact on her mind, these tips will help create that magnetic pull, making her think of you even when you're not there. Let's get started. 1. Build meaningful, memorable moments. One of the most powerful ways to get someone to miss you is by creating experiences that stand out. When you spend time with her, make sure your interactions are memorable and meaningful. Instead of just going through the motions of casual small talk, try to deepen the conversation or suggest doing something unique together. For instance, instead of meeting up for a simple coffee, you could suggest a spontaneous activity, like checking out a local art gallery, going for a scenic walk, or even doing a fun activity that she's mentioned in passing. The idea is to create moments that make her look forward to seeing you and thinking about the experiences you share. By making each time you hang out together feel a little different and a little more special, you're giving her something to look back on and miss. It's these unique moments that will linger in her mind, making her think about you even when you're not around. 2. Don't always be available. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they like someone is always being readily available. When she reaches out, don't drop everything to respond immediately every single time. If you're always there at her beck and call, she might start taking your availability for granted. Instead, keep a balance between responding and occasionally being a bit harder to reach. For example, if she texts you, take a little while before replying sometimes. Or if she asks to meet up, let her know you're interested, but suggest a time that works for you instead of always bending your schedule to hers. This doesn't mean ignoring her or playing hard to get to the point where she loses interest, but showing her that you have your own life, commitments, and plans. When she realizes that you're not always immediately accessible, it creates a sense of mystery and anticipation. She'll start wondering what you're up to and when she'll hear from you next. 2 thoughts that can make her start to miss you more. 3. Find ways to connect outside of in-person meetings. Creating little reminders of yourself in her daily life is a great way to get her thinking about you, even when you're not physically there. For example, if you both share an inside joke, a favorite TV show, or even a certain song, use those connections as a way to stay on her mind. You could send her a funny meme related to your joke, or share a song that reminds you of something you discussed. These small, thoughtful gestures will serve as little nudges that make her think of you throughout her day. The idea is to establish these tiny mental triggers so that even if you're not around, she has reasons to think about you. By creating these subtle connections, you're making sure that she associates certain parts of her day with you, and before she knows it, she'll be missing those little interactions when they don't happen. 4. Develop a bit of mystery. Leaving some things up to her imagination can make her feel more intrigued and drawn to you. Avoid oversharing about every aspect of your life, especially early on. Instead of talking about your day in detail, leave out some parts that keep her guessing or bring up a new hobby or interest without going into too much detail. For instance, if she asks about your weekend, mention that you did something exciting, but leave some of the specifics open for curiosity. You could say, "I had a really interesting Saturday, but I'll have to tell you about it another time." This makes her more likely to think about what you're up to, creating a bit of intrigue. This slight air of mystery adds a layer of excitement, making her more likely to anticipate and look forward to the next time you talk. By keeping certain details to yourself, you give her something to wonder about, which can increase her desire to learn more about you. 5. Show genuine interest in her life and listen carefully. One of the best ways to create a strong emotional connection with someone is to show genuine interest in who they are and what they care about. When you listen intently and remember details about her interests, dreams, and passions, it shows her that you're not just paying attention superficially. Ask her about things she's mentioned before, or follow up on something she's told you in previous conversations. If she talked about an upcoming project or a family event, check in with her about it later on. This level of attentiveness will stand out to her, making her feel valued and appreciated. When you demonstrate that you're fully engaged in her world, she'll start missing your thoughtful presence in her life. She'll begin to realize that few people listen and care as much as you do, which will make her look forward to the next time you're around. 6. Keep up your own hobbies and interests. Having a life that doesn't revolve around her is incredibly attractive and helps to make you more interesting. By actively pursuing your hobbies, interests, and goals, you show her that you're self-driven and fulfilled on your own. When she sees that you're passionate about your own activities, it makes her curious about the things that keep you occupied. For example, if she knows you're working on a creative project or that you're dedicated to a fitness routine, it creates a sense of admiration and respect. She might find herself wondering what you're up to when you're working on these things, which keeps you on her mind. When you focus on developing yourself and keeping busy with your own passions, you become more attractive and intriguing, which can make her miss you even more. 7. Share small personal stories. To make a lasting impression, don't be afraid to share a bit of yourself with her. Opening up and telling her personal stories, even ones that are lighthearted, creates a sense of closeness. When you share something meaningful, it allows her to see a side of you that most people don't get to see, which creates an emotional connection. For example, you might tell her about a funny family tradition, a challenge you've overcome, or a memorable experience from your past. These personal insights give her a deeper sense of who you are, which makes your time together feel more intimate. When you share these stories, she'll likely think about them later, making her miss those moments of connection. The more she knows about you on a personal level, the more she'll look forward to being around you again, to hear even more. 8. Show your appreciation for her in unexpected ways. When you show her that you appreciate her, you're creating a positive association with yourself that makes her feel valued. Compliment her in unique ways, tell her something you admire about her, or thank her for being a good friend or for a fun time together. For instance, instead of just saying, "I had a good time," you could say, "I really appreciate how you always know how to make me laugh." This is more than just a casual compliment. It shows that you're noticing specific qualities about her, which makes her feel special. These unexpected moments of appreciation will stand out to her, and she'll start to miss the way you make her feel whenever you're around. 9. Create a fun routine or tradition together. Creating a small routine or tradition together is a fantastic way to give her something to miss. This could be something as simple as having a weekly coffee meetup, a shared workout session, or even a routine of sending each other funny memes or updates on a favorite show. These routines build a bond that becomes a special part of her life, and when she misses out on it, she'll start to feel your absence. For example, if you both regularly send each other memes, and then you don't send one for a few days, she'll notice and likely start missing those interactions. By establishing this shared tradition, you create a bond that she'll look forward to each time, and when it doesn't happen, she'll realize how much she values those moments with you. 10. End conversations on a positive note. How you end a conversation can make a huge difference in how she feels afterward. When you leave things on a positive note, she's more likely to think about you with fondness and look forward to the next time you'll talk. Make sure to end on a high, whether it's with a joke, a compliment, or a lighthearted goodbye. For example, you could say something like, "This was fun. Can't wait to hear more about that." Or, if you're in person, say something like, "I always have a great time with you." These kinds of remarks leave a lasting, positive impression, making her more likely to miss you once the conversation ends. Ending things on a high note leaves her with a warm feeling that she'll want to experience again, making her anticipate the next interaction. So what's next for you? Discover the phrases women use to see if you're interested in them, or learn what women do when you've been on their mind. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.